GreenRoc Strategic Materials is focused on the development of critical mineral projects in Greenland. It has released an extensive operational update, and to talk through it, I'm delighted to be joined by the Chief Executive, Stefan Bernstein. So, Stefan, my first question is quite an extensive one, so bear with me, because you have submitted 2 applications to the EU with regard to the designation status of strategic project status, this under the EU Critical Raw Materials Act. Now, one application was for the extraction of graphite from the Amitsoq graphite deposit in Greenland, the other for the processing of graphite concentrate into active anode material at a processing plant in Norway. You know that. But what's coming up? Because the first batch of strategic projects are announced next month in March, so a matter of weeks. Now, if GreenRoc is not successful, what's the plan? Resubmit, or will there be another tranche of strategic projects announced in the next quarter?
Yes, Sarah. So, of course, very exciting times for us. I think this is going to be announced within, a few weeks, 3-4 weeks, maybe. But we have certainly we have a strong expectation that we will be a designated strategic project, simply because we tick all the boxes. It's a commodity which is very sought after. There's 100% dependency on China, import from China. We have no production of graphite in Europe, or only a minuscule, and no processing into active anode material, and yet it is a main ingredient, really, in terms of weight in lithium-based batteries. So, if we are not becoming a strategic project, then who qualifies then? But of course, there could be other things that you never know how these things go. So if for some reason turns out negative for us, or we are not in the first batch of projects, then we strongly expect to be one in the second batches that will be announced if they are reevaluated, given a given chance to resubmit, or there will be another tranche of submissions coming perhaps later this year. It's not been announced yet. I will just say one thing, namely that our all applications were pre-processed, and then the uploads were confirmed and approved. So if we fail to answer a series of questions or just didn't fulfill the requirements, then we would have known.
Okay, understood. Let me move on to the exploitation license application for Amitsoq. There's certainly been lots of admin coming through your hands over the past few months now. You're waiting for government approval, but there's a general election next month. So how will that impact the application? The department looking at the application and timelines to approval?
Right. So I can just explain first that, excuse me, the approval that we are awaiting for now is a final approval of the project description and the associated data by the government before it can be sent into pre-consultation. And it's ready to go into that decision process with the parliament, but of course now the election is called. So presently there's not really any work that can be done. It's all been passed through the department of the government agreement, so it's really up for the government itself to decide on. So I expect it to be presented right after the election has been passed and the new government is in place. I don't expect to see any change really in the attitude towards the wish from the Greenland to create a minerals industry in Greenland. All the parties are agreeing that this is very important. So I think no matter what kind of government we'll see post the election, it will be looking positively at our application. So, in short, yes, it will delay perhaps a few weeks, maybe a month or two, but I expect it the approval to be achieved before the end of this spring.
So let's look at the ESG rating given to the Amitsoq Graphite project. Overall, you've been given BB, double B. The top score you could have achieved would have been a triple A. So there's obviously room for improvement. And if the score can be improved, will this correlate with improved creditworthiness and the ability to attract more green finance?
Yeah, so the last part of your question first, I would say yes, absolutely. I think that just having achieved this score and have disclosed our performance in the ESG space makes it obviously us a very attractive investment opportunity, not only just in case of all the business upside, but certainly also that we will be one of the projects that actually do some real action towards the ESG performance and the ESG standards at our project. With regard to the rating, it's actually a pretty good rating, double B at this early stage, because what you have to realize is that there's a range given to each of the questionnaires, and of which there's a lot in, and uncertainty is, of course, giving you a larger range. So the fact that we are in the top category, BB to AAA, just shows that we have achieved already quite a bit in terms of the way towards a higher rating. I would also say that pre-production companies rarely achieve more than a BBB or 1A, simply because of the uncertainty I just described.
Okay, obviously I'm being a little bit harsh on you, but obviously your green credentials will be enhanced by friendly purification methods. Is this a possibility? Is this within the business strategy?
Oh, absolutely. And there are several ways that we can improve on our ESG performance, and we are constantly looking to do so. And one of them is what you just mentioned, namely that if we were to conduct the kind of traditional purification technology on our graphite, then we'll be using a vast amount of hydrofluoric acid, a very hazardous substance, which is very, very aggressive, also very effective. But we believe that we can use a much milder reagent, namely sodium hydroxide. So that's one of the credentials also that we'll be looking at to improve our ESG performance and give us a better score.
So finally, Stefan, the world's premier mineral exploration and mining convention is arguably PDAC. You will be giving a presentation at the Greenland Day. Nerve-wracking, but of course the networking opportunities are immense. So what are you hoping to get out of your appearance there?
First of all, a lot of further attention towards our project. It'll give us our opportunity to meet with government officials from Greenland, from the US, from Europe, from Denmark, from Norway, from a lot of the countries that we are associated with, and also meet with potential investors and mining companies that could have a business interest in joining us with the journey towards establishing the mine at Amitsoq in Greenland.
Wonderful. Stefan Bernstein, the Chief Executive of GreenRoc Strategic Materials, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, Sarah. A pleasure.